Hey guys, how are you? So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the top 3 reasons why you are not living your dream life today. Yes, I am live. I am live for the first time in a long time on my page. But I'm driving and I feel so inspired today. And I want to talk to you guys about these top 3 reasons. Now, this has come about for a number of reasons, right? I've had some very interesting conversations lately with my clients and my son, and I've had a couple of very interesting conversations with random people that I've met at the grocery store and, different places like that. And, I always hear I am not living the life that I want to live. I'm not living my dream life. Like, I'm always asking this one question: are you living in your bliss? And they always say no. It's almost like it is an anomaly. Like, what? My bliss? My dream life? No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't even exist. But it really can exist. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that today and how you can make little small changes in your life. Hey, Sandeep. Little small changes in your life that will allow you to live the life that you truly desire to live. So let's start with this list. Are you ready? Okay. Number 1, not objective enough to truly expand yourself, right? So one of the reasons why you are not living the life that you truly desire is because you're not objective enough to truly expand your life. Now, let me expand on that topic. We're in a society today where everyone is super duper sensitive. And when I say super duper sensitive, that means that when someone comes to you and tells you like it is, or tells you, gives you suggestions or advice on things that you can do to shift your life immediately, most people are so subjective, right? Or so in their own space that they cannot even think to hear what someone else has to say, right? And then when they do hear it, they automatically get guarded. Automatically they're guarded. They're like, oh, I don't believe that. Oh, that's not true. Oh, they get in their feelings, right? Not open, not objective, not ready to expand themselves in real life, not taking what someone is saying to them and saying, you know what? Even though I don't necessarily agree, maybe they see something that I don't see. Or even though I don't necessarily agree, maybe that's something I should check out on my own. Or maybe even, you know what? Maybe this is something I need to hear right now. And I'll give you an example. So someone said to me, and it's just more than one person. Hey, Henry, more than one person. I get feedback quite often about the fact they say that I am hard. Okay? They say I'm hard. So I'm like, hard? What does that mean? Because to me, it's bad. To me, it's like it sounds horrible. She's hard. You're single because you're hard. You are, like, this hard word is very weird to me, right? And so initially I was not objective enough for me to expand because I didn't understand, right? Or because I was offended. I'm hard. What do you mean? I'm soft. I'm not hard. But the reality is that, that's somebody else's perspective. And while I don't live by other people's perspective, it is always good for me to know other people's perspective so that I can see, is this something that I'm comfortable with? Is this something that I want to change? Is this something that I want to stand strong and firm in? However, allow other people to feel comfortable with themselves feeling the same way. Like, how do I want to perceive this information that I am experiencing or that I am hearing, right? So you've got to be objective when someone is coming at you. I had another young lady tell me, you scream too much, you're loud, right? So what? I think today people are so sensitive, they can't accept someone yelling at them. Who cares if someone yells? They're not hitting you. If they're telling you something that's positive, if they're telling you something that is going to move you forward and where you want to be in life, why does it matter how it's being delivered? Right? Why does it matter? One of my favorite people in the entire world is Gary Vaynerchuk. This guy has a bigger potty mouth than me, and I don't even think that's possible. Right? And he says in one of, when I saw him live last year, he said, some of you are not going to like what the F I have to say, he says. He's going on, and I mean, he's cursing every 2 words, a man after my own heart, right? But it wasn't, and I'm on the front row at this event, and so it was 3 young people to the left of me and 3 older people to the right of me, and the one of the ladies to the right, she said, oh God, his language, I just can't hear his message because the language is so bad. And I turned around and looked at her. I said, then you're missing out, ma'am. And she said, excuse me? I said, if you cannot hear his message because he's cursing, then you're missing out. Then you're missing out. Because how many of you sit down and listen to the radio and bop your head and they're saying everything negative, everything that does not benefiting you in any way, form, or fashion, but you're bopping your head to it? How many of you are watching the movies and they're cursing like blah, blah, blah every step of the way, and you're watching it in pure enjoyment? But when someone wants to come to you with a positive message, someone wants to come to you to help you enhance yourself, then all of a sudden you can't hear the message. You got your guard up. Come on now. Let's keep this thing real, right? So number 1, not objective enough to truly expand yourself. If you can't hear other people's feedback, if you can't listen to someone who's trying to push you forward, you're not objective enough to expand to even live the type of life that you want to live. Because I guarantee you, people who are living their dream life, they're expanding consistently. All right? I want to see that for you guys. All right, let's go to number 2. Y'all ready for number 2? Woo! All right, number 2. Your friend circle. Now, a lot of y'all are going to get pissed off about this, and I'm so okay with that. However, many of you are holding on to friendships that bring 0 value to you. And when I say you're holding on to friendships that bring 0 value, I mean that you're holding on to friendships because they have a title. Oh, that's my best friend of 30 years. Bring no value. She brings no value. He brings no value. But you're holding on because they have a title. Or maybe you're holding on because you feel like if you don't have a quote unquote friend to talk to, then your whole life is going to fall apart, right? Maybe it's that. I don't know. But many of us are holding on to these friendships that are not enhancing our lives in any way, form, or fashion. If someone is feeding off of you consistently and you don't have the ability to feed off of them because they bring no value to your life. Now, let me define this before I even finish my sentence. I want somebody to say, D, what is value? What do you mean they have to bring value to your life? I'm talking about enhancing your life, okay? I'm talking about teaching you things that help you grow. I'm not talking about giving you money, right? I'm not talking about physical things. I'm talking about things that are going to enrich you and inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, to live the dreams that you want to live, to do the things that you want to do. I'm talking about those types of friends. Because many of us hold on to friends that every time you got an idea, they're giving you 50 different ways as to why the idea shouldn't work or why it won't work, right? Or they're helping you stay exactly where you are. See, people think that those types of friends are okay, but they're not okay either because they're not really good friends. If a friend is telling you, girl, you okay, you fine where you at, I'll give you an example. I had a girlfriend one time in my lifetime. I gained a lot of weight, right? And then I lost a lot of weight. I went from a size, at the time, I think I went from a size 12, 14 to a size 6. And she was an overweight young lady, heavy, big bone. I'm thick. She was thick. Now I'm thick. She was thick. And so I saw her after a while. I was telling her, we were in 2 different states. So I was telling her, it's like, I'm working out every day. I'm losing weight. She's like, okay, yeah, that's good. And then when she sees me, she's like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. You look like you got AIDS. And I was like, what? Right? I'm like, what? And she said, what size are you now? I said, I'm a size 8. So she pulls a dress out of my suitcase and says, no, girl, you a size 6 and you are way too small. There's nothing wrong with having a little rolls around your waist. Men like that. I said, but I didn't lose weight for a man. I lost weight for me. It doesn't matter. It's okay to have a little bit of flab. It's okay to be, and while that may be true for her, in my opinion, if I'm losing weight to become healthy or to better myself, wouldn't I like someone to encourage me to be healthy and to be better? Not someone to encourage me to stay exactly where I am. So having a friend that's pacifying your stagnation, if that's a word, is just as bad as having a friend who is not supportive at all. And so if you have one of those in your circle, and many of you do, and you continue to hang around them, and you continue to listen to them, and you continue to value their opinions, and you continue, I want you to really start to take the time to think about, is this person bringing me as much value as I'm bringing them, right? You've got to weigh it out. I want you to physically weigh out. Like, I challenge you to go down, to sit down, and I want you to write out pros and cons. And I want you to write all the pros of this person being in your life and all the cons. And I want you to be genuinely honest and sincere with yourself. Okay? And then decide, is this someone that I want to continue to have in my life? And then I want you to start to write down all the things that you desire to have in a true friend, so that you can start to generate that energy around you, and you can attract the real types of friends that you want to have in your life to you. That's very, 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 very important, okay? That's very important. Do not allow people around you who can't see your vision, who are already stagnant, or that are full of excuses, or, have no desire whatsoever to better themselves, to be around you. Why would you even want that around you? Do thieves hang around? I mean, if you're not a thief, you're not going to hang around a thief. If you're not a murderer, you're not going to hang around a murderer. So why would you want to hang around someone who does not value you, who does not see the future you, where that's the direction that you're going in anyway? Hello. No, don't want to talk about that. No, nobody want to let go of the deadbeat friends. Y'all want to keep them around, but you got to let them go. Because if you want to see a better version of yourself, you've got to create a better version of yourself. If you want to see a better version of yourself, you got to create a better version of yourself. All right, number 3. The number 3 reason why you are not where you want to be in your life today, why you're not living your dream life, is because you are in a very super exclusive, intimate relationship with fear, with failure, with excuses, with insecurity, with, I can keep the list going down. I can keep going down. But you're in this real hardcore, intimate relationship with the things that you really do not desire. And maybe some of you haven't even noticed it. Maybe you haven't acknowledged it. But I'm here to help you today, to help you acknowledge it. You've got to break off your relationship, the relationship that you have with the things that don't benefit you. You've got to break the relationship off. Now, many of you say, well, D, that's not true. Because the reality is that, I'm afraid because I don't have the money. Or I'm afraid because I don't have the time. Or I'm afraid because my husband did this. Or I'm afraid because my wife did that. Or I'm afraid because my mama told me. Or I'm afraid because the Bible says, or the Quran says, Or I'm afraid because I don't believe. It's just like so many little different things we all got going on in our head. And the reality is that relationship is not beneficial for you. And not only is it not beneficial, it's a stinking relationship that you're in. It's a bad relationship if you want to look at bad in that particular context. Because the reality is that anything that you genuinely desire in life, you have the ability to get. You just haven't seen the opening yet. And the only reason why you haven't seen the opening is because you're in a very intimate relationship with all the things that keep you from seeing that openness, right? If you're in a relationship with excuses, then I guarantee you that every time you're looking to move forward in your life, hey Tia, you're looking to take your life to a different level, that relationship that you have with excuses is going to come in and it's going to rub on your face. And it's going to kiss your neck and say, but remember, sweetie, you only have $15 in the bank account. And you're going to say, you're right, excuses. That's exactly right. You know what? I can't do it. I got only $15. Or then maybe the relationship you have with time is going to say, you don't have enough time, my love. What are you talking about? You can't achieve that. You don't have time. You're doing this, that. You don't have the time to have the level of success that you want in your life. And then you say, okay, you're right. Oh, thank you. I love you so much. Excuses of time. I just don't have it. You're right. Right? And you live in that cesspool of I call it of negativity. That's what I call it, because all of those feelings and emotions are literally at the bottom end of the energy spectrum, right? When we talk about the energy spectrum, I talk about this all the time. We talk about the energy spectrum. You think of your higher power or the godlike figure in your life is at the higher end of the energy spectrum. Joy, ecstasy, positivity, love, confidence, surety. That's your godlike spirit. That's at the top of the energy spectrum, right? But at the bottom of the energy spectrum is anger, it's hate, it's excuses, it's procrastination, right? It's insecurity. That's at the bottom. That's what some people would call your Satan or your devil or whatever you want to, however, your lower energy, the lower vibrational energy. And so my question to you today is, what end of the spectrum are you on? What end of the spectrum are you in love with? Or are you allowing to love on you? That's right. No excuses for Tia. I love that. What end of the energy spectrum are you on? Are you mad, in love, passionate with the joy that comes to you, knowing that you literally have the ability to impact your life at any given moment? Somebody told me recently, D, I don't have the money to start a business. That's what they told me. They said, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and I literally just don't have the money to start a business. And I said, okay, great. I said, so let me ask you some questions here. And said, okay, great. So what do you drink every day? Tell me about what you eat every day. I listen to what they eat. I said, what do you do for fun? I listen to what they do for fun. What do you do when you get home from work every day? I listen to what they did. And I started to write down a list of all the things that they did that cost money. And then I started to calculate those funds. And then I compared the cost of the things that they were doing on a consistent basis with the cost of starting a business. And then I asked them, now tell me, what's keeping you from starting this business right now? And, the young lady looked, she was so embarrassed. I could tell. And she really wanted to bring her love for excuses out, right? She wanted to bring them out. I wouldn't allow her. Thank God she was objective. She wanted to expand. She listened. She heard. But my point was, you have the power to do anything. Money doesn't stop you, or lack of. Time doesn't stop you, or lack of. Your husband, your wife, or your children, your job. There's nothing literally on this planet that can keep you from achieving the goals, achieving the dreams, achieving the successes that you want, that you need, that you desire in your life, but you. That's it. Only you in your mindset, only you in your belief system. Hello. And so today I want to encourage you to shift that belief system a little bit, because whatever it is that you've been told all your life does not necessarily have to be your truth. It doesn't have to be your truth that you have to work a 9 to 5. It doesn't have to be your truth that you can't live the life that you want to live. Like, that doesn't have to be your truth. That may be somebody else's truth and they tried to put that on you, but it doesn't have to be your truth. So I want you to figure out what your truth is. Who are you? What are you worthy of? And whatever you desire is absolutely what you're worthy of. So if you desire a new car, you're worthy of that. If you desire a new home, you're worthy of that. If you desire $1 million or $2 million or $10 million, you're worthy of that. If you desire to run an empire, you're worthy of that. So you have to define what you desire and then know your worth, and then take that and let that catapult you to live the life that you absolutely desire. So everybody who's watching this video live, and if you're catching the replay, I would love for you to comment under this video. Let me know what you're worthy of. What do you desire, and what are you worthy of? And what are you willing to do? What sacrifices are you willing to make? What changes are you willing to make so that you can see the life that you absolutely desire and deserve? Thank you for watching.